Jeff, it's kind of like in golf. It's not how, it's how many. And your guys had a great run down the stretch in the last 3 minutes. I think I wrote down you were down by one with about 3:01 to go, and you outscored them 12-5 in the final 3 minutes. A nice little spurt that you probably looked for all game, and then finally got it when it counted the most.
Yeah, I mean, well, we knew that. I have a lot of respect for Coach Katz and his program, and if you look at their record coming in 3-7, and it is their record, but they've played in a lot of close games, and we knew it was going to be one of those games. It was going to be low possessions. We knew they were going to be physical. They've been preparing since last Saturday. We're on our third game in 6 days, and our biggest thing was having the respect that we do have for Sac State and how hard they play. Was that we had to come out and we had to bring more energy and not have the excuse of playing on Thursday, on Monday, because we knew that they're a team that will come out and they'll bully you if you allow them to. And we did a really good job of keeping them off the offensive glass, even for them to only have 6 offensive rebounds on that many missed shots. And then we did a tremendous job on Josh Patton, who arguably is one of the top 3 bigs in the league. For us to minimize his production, it really allowed us to keep the game in a game where you're going to have 4 or 5 a year, especially when you shoot as many shots, many outside shots, as many threes as we do. You're going to have those games where you don't make them, and you got to hang your hat on your defense. And our defense kept the game close enough; it didn't let it get out of reach to where when we can go on a run, when we make a run, then we could kind of break the game open, and that's what we did. We kept it close enough to where when we actually made some tough shots down the stretch.
You went from 33.3 shooting the first half to 50% in the second half. I mean, it wasn't like you weren't putting shots up in the first half. You got none to fall. What was the biggest difference? Was you getting better shots in the second half, or did you make some kind of offensive adjustment?
Well, the first half we got a lot of great open looks. Sometimes the zone will do that to you, and then you start missing a few, and then guys start thinking, they start tightening up a little bit. And they're not usually a zone team. They'll usually throw out 8 to 12 possessions a game, and they saw that we were missing shots, so they stuck with it. And at halftime, really the only kind of minor tweak that we made was try to kind of get JD into the high post area. To kind of put a little bit more pressure when they brought that 5-man up. And I thought that allowed us to kind of manipulate it a little bit more to kind of create some more open looks. But I thought our defense allowed us to kind of get out and transition a little bit more and get some easy shots that way.
So, Coach, again, we've talked about it a couple times this season, but what does it mean to have a player like Jordan who just takes that moment, went on that 7-0 run there? What does it mean to have a player like him to set that example for the rest of the season?
Well, he knows, and as I remind him, right before he goes out, is that you got to go out and play like the Big Sky Conference Player of the Year. For us to be at our best, we need him to be at his best, and he accepts that challenge. He accepts the responsibility, and it makes you a lot better coach when you have a guy like that who you can put the ball in his hands down the stretch to make winning plays. And we got down one. He got in there, got the and one. But it's just we go how he goes. And I thought our other guys did a good job of stepping up there, especially that last 20 minutes of the game. When sometimes when you miss the many shots we did in the first half, you come into halftime and they're kind of deer in headlights. And I thought that they still had the right mentality, they had the right energy, and we really finished the game off not only with making shots, but we made a ton of winning plays.
So what was it? Because it seemed like something kind of clicked there for you guys about midway through the second half. What was it, or was it just happened that you guys?
Yeah, I don't think it was anything differently than what we had done in the first half. A lot of times it's a make or miss game, and when you get open shots, when Trent Harris gets open shots, when Bodie gets open shots, when JD gets open shots, Jonah, I'm not going to tell them not to shoot them. Those are the shots that we want them to take, and they're going to make them the majority of the time. But you just happen to have nights where they don't make shots. So, but we just found a way to just keep scratching and clawing, and we did it on the defensive end. And that's the first team that's actually came in the last 4 games that shot over 40% from the field. But I thought we did a good job of following the game plan of minimizing Liafa, Graves, Fowler threes, and then keeping Patton from not getting inside that lane line, and then limiting them to one shot. But in closing, though, I would like to say that my prayers and condolences go out to Coach Brian Fish at Montana State, whose daughter passed away as a parent of 4. That's the last thing that you ever want to happen, and so our prayers are with them.